The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derbies, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this edition of the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast. Coming to you live from the downtown offices of Finger Lakes 1 here in Seneca Falls. This is the 267th episode of the Crash Course. We appreciate all the folks tuning in and joining us here this evening. We've got Cody Gaines coming up. He's waiting in the wings right now. Nate Middendorf is going to be on the show as well. And we're also going to be talking with Steve Cioppa. Cody and Nate coming up with division wins out at Capital City Carnage. Capital City Carnage did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. Steve Cioppa came away with a win in that old iron class at Bluegrass Bash in Louisville, so we're going to be talking with him. We got a couple of results notes on that. We got all the results from Capital City Carnage to go through as well. What a weekend it was. Brian, Jonathan, Muse, Mavis, whichever way you want to go, came away with a win in the limited weld class. It was a barn burner of a feature. Zach Johnson was second place in that one. Nathan Gill taking home that $5,000 Mad Dog Award. John couldn't be with us this evening, but he does send out the sincere thanks to all the folks that have taken time out of their day to offer congratulations and thoughts, and also he's also still trying to play catch up on filling orders because there's more derbies to come.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a great weekend. First off, I'm going to speak for Chris and I here, so if my mic goes dead, that's why. We really got to thank everybody that came up and offered, not really congratulations, but told us how glad they were to have us back, and happy with the job that we do and have been doing. And a lot of people made us feel really welcome in Topeka this weekend. I know I got some messages online, but just so many people, welcome us back, and they were happy to see us. So that was really cool. Capital City Carnage, it did not disappoint, top to bottom. Great show. Definitely a lot of stuff tore up, a lot of junk made. It was fun. It's it's funny before the limited weld feature, I guaranteed Mavis would be top 3, but I didn't know how it would work out with the team workings out there, because there was a lot of guys that I'm sure had some some dealings together, but he drove a great derby. He drove really smart, made the hits when he had to, got a little hairy at the end. He took a shot from Johnson, and it broke the right front tire off, and it impaled Jonathan's hub down into the track, but he was able to get moving. Johnson ended up losing a tranny, but it was great. The mod heat did not disappoint. There was cars. And there was we touched on it, probably half the field was fresh cars. Yeah.
They were.
They were. That's the key term.
They were.
Top to bottom. Saturday was the Friday night, things started out fast paced and stayed that way. And Saturday, I would say they picked up from the first consi on. Everything was just hard hitting, fast paced. It was a great weekend, man. I can't wait to get back in November.
Excellent show, top to bottom. Run through the results of that one more time for you. The limited weld side of things, John Mavis coming away with the win in the Team NLR Derby Parts entry. Second place, again, Zach Johnson. Andrew Carmichael taking home third. Fourth was Alan Hasse. And fifth place, Daryl Ewing. Daryl was supposed to be there in a support role and drove it down for a long time with no right front wheel. It was a fantastic show from the back. You alluded to the mod class, and that's where we're going next. Just as soon as I can find that. Cody Gaines taking the win over Dylan Kunkel. Dylan Kunkel threw his hat in the ring for Mad Dog.
Oh, yeah.
No question there. Cody Gaines won that one. Dylan Kunkel second. Third place was Jake Benters with a great run. In his own right, Carson Dixon was scored in a tie for third.
Oh, really?
How that ended up going down.
Okay.
I saw him postings because the way that the shot clocks fell and the order of the sticks coming down, we had him fourth, but they marked him as a tie for third, I
Gotcha.
guess. So we're going to go with that. He would know better than we would. Tom Stern coming away with fifth place in that one. Sixth place, Kyle Puddlewitter with a great run. Also, Jacob Prusman. He cracked the top 10, and he drove a long time with no steering. A lot of those guys had to drive quite a while with no steering. We'll get a little bit deeper into those results and the compacts and some of the rest of the stuff when we wrap up with Nate. But in the meantime, Cody Gaines is waiting on the line. Cody, man, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing okay, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Again, Cody coming with a win in that mod class. Tell us a little bit about that feature.
Started out a little slow on the side of the track I was on, but it picked up and just rode with whoever was hitting me. I was after them.
Right. That's a good strategy out there. As hard as those cars were, there was a couple of shots that you ended up going nose to nose with everybody. You know, basically those cars, Blizzard Bash cars with plates on them, pretty heavy builds. It just looked like it just hurt when you went nose to nose with some of those guys.
No, it don't hurt too bad. I wear a harness.
Well, we're joking about the harnesses up top. And now that's going to keep you fixed to the seat, which is a good theory. But then it just makes all the other soft stuff slosh around in there a little bit more.
It just sloshes the soft stuff around. You touched on it. It started slow, but it seemed like, man, once the first couple guys made a couple big hits, then all you guys were wide open and just tearing stuff up. Is that kind of how it felt on the track? I mean, kind of wait till a couple guys start, taking the big shots, and then you get after it. Is that how it felt in the car?
Yeah, it felt slow right away, and then you could hear a couple people's motors open up, and then it was like, okay, it's time to go.
Well, that was just how we sort of expected it. Opening, it didn't have anything to do with the Demolition Derby for the first probably 3 minutes. Everybody just wanted to get to their corner that they had scoped out ahead of time, and pretty much everybody else was doing the same thing. So once they had found their corners, then things really opened up.
We see that at Blizzard Bash all the time. Usually Blizzard Bash, the feature starts out, and guys want to get to where they want to be on the track, and then once that happens, the action seems to pick up. It's kind of...
It's like that Brockton handshake that they do out of the Brockton Fair. They just touch bumpers. It's like everybody knows we're not going to hit anybody until you find your seat. The movie doesn't start until you find your seat.
Yep.
Cody and Jake Prusman ran together, and they won the qualifying bracket at Blizzard Bash. Now turning around and both of them coming up with top 8 finishes, Cody with the win. That's got to be some pretty good momentum going into the summer season in 2019, having back-to-back success like this in Topeka.
Yeah, it feels real good. Hoping to continue the luck. We're going out to Spring X here next month.
The cars are... I talked to Jacob earlier today, and I guess the cars aren't quite done yet.
Yeah, currently I don't even have my car yet. Supposed to hopefully be here tonight.
4 cars?
And I still got I'm taking an 07 Vic.
4 cars, 4 frames, 4 weeks. What could go wrong, right?
What could go wrong? Now the Spring X build though, that's not as heavy as what you guys build for, like when you go to Blizzard Bash, is it?
I think they stepped it up a little bit more this year. You can do, seems like a lot more. It's going to be a little trickier to do in 4 weeks, but I'll get it done.
How bad is the wreckage from your mod class run at Capital City Carnage? Is there anything left of that car? Are you going to be able to run it all this summer, or is that getting cut up?
I will just pull the drivetrain for Spring X and probably just throw a greaser 350 in it and run it around here for the summer. It just bent in one spot.
After all that, it bent in one spot.
I was going to say, can you imagine as hard as they were hitting? And I mean, he obviously ran right down to the end and won it. It bent in one spot. That's crazy.
We talked to Dylan Kunkel last week, and we sort of got the impression from everybody that we talked to in the mod class that the pace was going to be good, but a lot of people were going to wait and see how the pace played out. Dylan came out swinging. What was going through your mind when you saw that black and yellow number 26 flying around like he was, and knowing that was going to be one of the guys eventually, as fewer and fewer cars were out there, he was going to be coming for you?
Just hoping he wouldn't land a good hit on me early and wreck my steering or something, and then hopefully just play at the end. I was ready.
Yeah, the end came quick. I mean, like the last 2 or 3 cars fell out. It seemed quick, and Dylan got backed in there kind of, and Cody made a shot, and then that was it. I don't know what happened to Dylan's car, but it ended quick for him.
Yeah, I don't know if the tranny went out or what. I don't know if he drove off the track. I didn't notice.
How long did those final few minutes feel?
Quick.
Did it?
Cool.
Yeah.
See, I would have imagined is with the way that
The
plays
closer you
out,
get to
that
the
must have felt like forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we were at like 5 or 6 cars, and then 2 guys got tangled up off to our left, and then these guys were wrapping it up on the other side.
Yeah, they were closer to the entrance of the track.
Who was third? Third died out too. Like those 2 guys off to our left, 4th and 5th. Carson Dixon was down there, and Jake Benters was in the black and purple car. And those guys, there was 3 cars on top of that. Let me find who that was. It was Puttawitter.
Yeah,
Puttawitter. Yep. And like just like that, those 3 or 4 cars were gone, and it went from being 6 down to a 2-horse race. And I can see, I guess I can kind of see where it would go fast, because all of a sudden it's like, wow, this is it.
How are you feeling about everything throughout the show? I mean, did you feel like it was going pretty good for you and you had a shot at it?
We got down to like 8. There was a red flag, and I was looking around. I was like, oh, this is going to start hurting real soon. And then there was another red flag, and it was down to just me and Klinkle.
And we had a rollover in that.
Yep.
Did Dylan get that rollover?
Yeah,
he
right
did. He got
us.
Troy Bohannon.
Yep.
He put Troy Bohannon over, and I hope people can appreciate what it takes to flip over a mod car like that.
That was a hard hit.
He was hauling the mail when he got there too. To put him Troy up on his side, and Troy was all done after that too.
Yeah, because it packed the stacks and dumped them. But Troy was having a good run. That car was definitely. Cody, were you surprised at the number of fresh cars that were there that weren't pre-run?
Yes, I thought it'd be a few more Bluegrass Bash cars there.
That's what we were commenting on. I think it was about 50-50 between pre-run and fresh cars for that show. And there was a couple of them fresh cars that I don't think they were going to be able to get another run out of afterwards. There were some cars that got tore up pretty bad.
I told you, mod cars never die; they just get more plate.
A couple of them, I think they were going to have to put new bodies on before they did the plate, because there was some stuff that got turned inside out.
You ever had a frame that was that good? Did you have to replace the body?
No.
The frame was fine?
Yeah. I never had that happen.
Tough break in that one, too, for Andrew Homer. We were expecting to see some good things out of him. He was one of the first guys to go out. I don't remember what happened to him specifically, but that wagon had a whole lot of education stuffed in it.
Oh, it either broke a rim or it broke a spindle on the right front, remember? He lost a tire early.
On Homer's car? Was it in the mod class?
The wagon, the Sedagon, the one we interviewed before?
Yeah.
It was, he lost a tire early, and it ended up over by, like, right in front of where the loader is, where you're going in and out of the track.
No, that's where Sean Vrana ended up in the limited world feature in the purple and black wagon.
He ended up there too with the wagon.
Was he? I thought
because it happened in front of us, and he got down there, and he ended up with like the passenger side against the wall, and that's where it sat.
You know what always surprises me is the cars that are out, how much ground they cover.
Yeah. When
they're left on the track, it might die, and that car might end up at the opposite end of the track by the time they're done.
Yeah, they get bounced around pretty good, especially the speed they run out there. But Cody, what'd you think of the track? I thought that from where we were, it looked like it was as good as any track they've had in Topeka. It looked fast.
Yeah, track was excellent.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to plan on running this summer?
I'll run most of the county fairs around here, and I'll probably go run the 3 Jacob Prusman promotes, and then I don't know, I might go out to River City Rampage again.
Okay.
We'll just see how it goes after Spring Axe.
Very good.
And other than that, I don't know. If I got a car ready and there's a demo on a weekend, I try to go.
That's awesome.
That sounds pretty
That's
good.
awesome.
Right
so do you have a car set aside for Blizzard Bash yet, or do you have to go find one?
I already bought that.
Nice.
Got the Blizzard Bash car.
Absolutely.
Got the Spring X car. You've got the mod car. Do you have to? Is that it? Is that all you have to buy this summer? I mean, it sounds like that allotment should get you quite a ways through the 2019 season.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do a couple limited weld ones this summer. See how my luck goes in them.
Going with the Fords for that as well?
Actually, it's old iron limited weld, so I'm going to take 72 Caddy.
Okay. Nice.
That should hold up pretty well.
Yep, you should be just fine.
Absolutely.
It was impressive how many caddies are continuing to come out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's such the car choice, and we've seen that, you know, roundbacks, and then it was the sedans, the Rivieras were the hot ticket for a while. Now the Crown Vics and the Cadillacs are starting to come. Well, not starting; they have been for the last
they've become
2-3 seasons. But they're really a go-to. Whereas, you know, now I think the new one that's really on the uptick is everybody's starting to trend towards the metric GMs, particularly the Cadillacs out of that. But you know, they're trying it.
Blame that on Kenny Rosno.
Or price.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing the Prusmans shows this summer, and then you said you're going back to Blizzard Bash. Same team as last year now that you're in the national draw?
I believe so. I don't know for sure about one, but I think he's still going to be on the team. We lost him for Spring X due to work issues, so we got a new guy there. Just going to see how it plays out in Spring X. And
I mean, obviously you want to win. Do you have beyond that? Do you have expectations or a collective team goal that you recognize sort of as a threshold to say that if you can accomplish this, then Spring Explosion is a success?
Yeah, if Spring X goes good, and as long as we can keep that fourth guy on our team, we'll probably try and keep him as long as we can.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, so folks that are watching on pay-per-view, of course, Capital City Carnage was aired on DerbyNation.tv. You can jump online and go back and watch on demand. You can watch any part of that show. All 3 legs of it are on DerbyNation.tv. This weekend's action from Bluegrass Bash was also on DerbyTees.tv, which is part of the Derby Nation network. You're going to be able to see Cody a couple times this summer talking about Spring X. That's going to be on Derby Tees. River City Rampage is going to be on Derby Tees, and then Derby Nation is going to be carrying Blizzard Bash as well. So a couple more opportunities through the course of 2019 to see Cody in action. You know, again, man, congratulations on the win and on in Blizzard Bash as well, and making it into that national draw. But of course, in the mod class here this weekend at Capital City Carnage, excellent effort, and got to make you feel pretty good at this point. Is there anybody at home or any sponsors or anybody that you want to make mention of before we let you go?
I'd like to thank friends and family and girlfriend for helping with the car, and then sponsored the big one, Bomber Transmission.
Mm-hmm.
For the trannies he provides us, and then got a local radiator shop that I get radiators from, and then got the Baldwin Power, but he's really not a sponsor, but the motor's awesome.
It sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Awesome. I'm glad you came on to hang out with us for a little bit, and again, congratulations on the run. We appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for a while.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later, Cody.
Have a good one, bud.
Thanks, bye.
There goes Cody Gaines, fresh off that win at Capital City Carnage again in the mod class. Some rip through some more results here while we've got everybody on the line. That second group of the 2-man extreme class was pretty good as well. That was a bit of a barn burner. Brendan Alvarez and Heath Hernandez coming away with a win in that one. Mm-hmm. They beat Julian Suter and Berkeley Lindsay, a couple 16-year-olds.
Yeah, how awesome was that? We had no clue until they got out of the car. We were like, whoa, check that out.
That was wild. That was very cool. Ryan McCracken, Philip Buckler coming home with 3rd place. 4th place was Austin Shanks and Johnny Shanks. 5th place was Brandon Hansen and Kurt Hansen. Those guys were trying to become
back-to-back winners,
2-time champions. Yeah, and in their number 5, but it didn't quite come together for them. Grant had
that shocker out.
Yes, they did. There was a lot of cars that ended up wore out in that one. There's not a lot of future left for most of those two-man extreme cars. The first group of two-man extreme action, Dwayne Armstrong and Justin Comer, won that one. Pete Steven and Clint Richardson second place. Third place was TJ Irvin and Nick Austin. TJ Irvin and Nick Austin both had just before that run in the compact feature. Nick Austin coming away with a top 3 effort there. Fourth place was Brad Turner and Joe Hawkins. Fifth place, Craig McCracken and Tyler Benson. And as we just referenced, the compact feature, Nate Middendorf picking up the win in that one. Second place was Nick Austin. Third, Scott Mulder, as we figured that he would be. Fourth place, Trevor Mulder. Fifth place, Kevin Ullman. So Team Compact Cadillacs doing just fine.
Did you see the picture that was posted on Facebook? I think it was after the compact heat. All those guys were sitting together, shooting the breeze in the stands. Literally everybody you just mentioned.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were all, Tony Brellinger, I believe, was in the picture as well. He had something go early, so he wasn't there at the end. But
I don't know if it was the head gasket because, like you said on the air, there wasn't any steam or smoke or anything to that. But he did say that there was some challenges with the power plant on that one. Do we have Nate? Nate, we do have Nate. We've got Nate Middendorf on the line with us. That's with 2 D's, not 2 T's. Nate, I got some bad news for you, buddy. Even though you caught that win, they're probably still not going to spell your name right.
No, they usually don't.
Congratulations on it, man. Getting that win in the car from 2017, right? This was the Firebird that you ran in the team bracket at Blizzard Bash in 2017?
Yes, sure is.
And the mission was to waste this car because you needed the drivetrain out of it to get ready for Bash for Cash. Were you successful?
Not quite, but it's bent enough for me to cut it up, I think.
Yeah, and car doesn't owe you anything, man. Take us through the feature. I mean, what a night it was.
Oh, well, just started off trying to hit nice soft things. I caught a couple of noses there on some W bodies, but other than that, I was just trying to move around as much as possible so nobody could really get a good shot on me. I didn't really care if they hit me in the trunk, but if they hit me in the nose, I started getting upset. So that was about it.
Offering that trunk up as defense is a strategy that's come to be common. I mean, there's the days of driving the derbies in reverse are far fewer than what they were in the past. Taking shots though in the back like that, did you have any concerns on the leaf pack getting busted off the frame rails or anything along those lines? And was there any consciousness of trying to protect that from happening?
Yeah, I didn't want to take a full shot, like a full track shot on it, but backing into people it wasn't too worrisome to me. Especially, I wasn't worried about my tires getting popped or nothing. I just didn't want a leaf spring to get tore off, like you said.
Sure.
But
you were driving pretty aggressive with the nose of that. Were you happy with the way it held up?
yeah, I was. I don't think it bent until I did that good half track shot on Nick into the wall or whatever was behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Take us through the closing moments of that. You end up coming from a long ways away. Scott Mulder is knocking on the door of another win and more success in Topeka, and you came blistering through there, and he ended up against the wall, and you got Nick Austin broadside and shoved him into a knot of cars, and then continued to go after him pretty hard until it was clear that he wasn't going to be able to get out of there. And you didn't necessarily pin to win. You're backing up, giving daylight, just as they went over in the drivers' meeting. Was there a sense at all when we got down to 5 cars at all that you may have an opportunity at pulling this one off?
Well, it felt that way once it got down to me and Scott hitting Nick up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the only time I felt comfortable. But at the same time, even when I was in front of Scott hitting Nick, right before the end, I was still worried Scott was going to fire up because I didn't see him break his stick, nothing. I just kept asking Tim if we were done yet, because
right.
I didn't want to stop hitting him so he couldn't get any position on me so he could make a hit, and I just kept going.
It's the
safest thing to do.
It's a long 60 seconds, isn't
it?
it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Especially.
Yes, it was.
Now, Nate, would you count this as the biggest win in your career? Or?
Yes, it is. This is the biggest show, the biggest amount of money, the most fun I've had.
Cool.
It's a pretty amazing feeling to pull that one off, especially with the people that I was competing with.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good people out there. Awesome drivers, awesome builders. You can't get no better than this.
I mentioned to Chris there was a picture on Facebook of pretty much all you guys that were there at the end up in the stands together. Was that before the compact feature or was that after?
That was after. That was me, Tony, Scott, and Mike Cook.
See, that's...
we were sitting there, and Scott was a little incapacitated, so he needed some French fries, and then he came and found me and started talking, and then Tony saw us talking, and I was sitting by Mike because we drove down together, so we just all got to talking.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool picture to see all you guys that had just ran. We're all kind of hanging out and shooting the breeze afterwards. I think, and that's, we've touched on that before. That's kind of the nice thing about these big shows is, you run against these guys all the time, and you're out there pounding on each other. But, there's still a respect there. You guys, there's still, friends off the track, and there's definitely mutual respect. It's something really cool that, that we've seen as we've gone to more of the big shows.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to think these guys are more friends than opponents,
Yep.
Just you don't get to see them very often, so every chance I get, I was walking away from the cars to go talk to people and see what everybody had going on.
Yep.
Instead of sitting around my car, I don't know. A lot of people like to hang out by the cars and make sure things don't happen, and I like to too. But at the same time, I'm not going to see these guys till November. Well, I guess I'll see them in Ohio in a couple months, but usually you don't see them very often, so you got to get in the time to talking to them.
Yep. Now that you mentioned that, I see somebody messed with Tony's tank. He didn't know if it was before the run or if it was after the run, but
I just actually cleared that up with him today.
Really?
Somebody. Well, I didn't. I just saw in the comments or whatever that somebody shut it off afterwards because it was leaking.
Oh, okay.
So after the feature was done.
Gotcha.
Well, that's
better.
That's a far better situation than what it looked like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. Could have been a pretty shitty day for him.
Yeah, no kidding.
In terms of wins and stuff, how many wins do you have at this point?
Oh, I don't know, a whole lot less than Jared, judging by the trophies in our shop.
You guys get.
Last year, I ended up doing nothing. Or I struggled all year long. I never came home with any money. But the year before that, me and Jared, everywhere we went, we came home with 1 through 3, or between 1 and 3.
Sure.
First and third.
Cool.
So.
You guys getting ready for Blizzard Bash again this year, I trust?
Yes, we are.
Cool.
You going to go with the Camaro again?
I was thinking about bringing this one back.
You're bringing this car back to Blizzard Bash?
I was thinking about it. The body is really nice still, I think, and PJ just put that awesome paint job on it, so why throw that away?
Great point, I guess.
Awesome.
All right.
It was funny. We were out talking with you there before, and we were talking about the fact that you weren't just wrecking a Camaro, you were actually wrecking a Trans Am, and we were talking about all the people that watched Smokey and the Bandit, and whoever thought that people would be Derby and Trans Ams. But it's cool to think all the different cars that people wreck nowadays. But I don't know if a Camaro would ever be considered a Derby car.
Yeah, it was pretty sacrilege when I painted over the Firebird on the hood. But, having that gold and black on there didn't look very good. Made me think I had to do something with Scott.
Right. You were one of the few rear-wheel drive cars that we saw out there in the compacts this year. There was the Mustang, and there was the Volvo, and there was yours.
Yeah, there's 4, a G-Body, Volvo wagon, and a Chevette, and then me.
Oh, the Chevette.
Chevette,
right?
Yeah, we forgot about him.
Bruce Johnson.
Yeah.
Bruce broke the rear end. That's why it was...
Really?
Well, not in the sense... let me restate that. He broke the rear end loose.
Oh, no kidding.
it was shifting around underneath there, so that was the end of it. So when he was pulling it off, it looked like that wheel was chucking. It was still in gear.
Oh.
So that's why it was fighting back. I saw him, and he said he's coming back. He can't wait to get back, and he's got a little bit more car left than he thought that he was going to have, but he had an absolute ball.
That's awesome.
As the crash test dummy 699, we had a chance to talk with him, and he's a ball to talk to, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He got he hit his quota. I think he got 5 hits in, so he's good. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nate, we talked a little bit about Bash for Cash. When do you start building that car?
Tomorrow.
Good answer. I would have taken like a week off to celebrate the win, but I mean a couple days I guess is good.
I mean, I'll be in the garage tonight a little bit, looking over the Camaro and probably pull some things out. But yeah, I probably start working on that car here soon.
That'd be cool. Now, how cool would it be to go to Bash for Cash and pick up a win there? That'd make for a pretty good year, huh?
You know, it would make a really cool year. I'd probably just quit derbying because there'd be so many people on my ass. But I pull off Capital and then Bash and then Blizzard Bash. But I really hope I didn't just curse myself there.
Right.
But that'd be really cool to pull that off.
Yeah, it would. That would be a good derby year.
You know, how much better has your driving become since you started making the trips to Topeka and running with the competition that you're rubbing elbows with? I mean, you had success. You're a good builder, a good driver, but I mean, obviously going out there and trying to compete with those guys, you have to up your game. There's things that you have to learn, and now you're venturing out to Bash for Cash, and you're one of the returning teams that people are looking for in terms of having success at Blizzard Bash. What have you learned? What have you picked up? How's it improved your skill as a builder and driver?
Well, I learned that everything's a lot slower, a hell of a lot slower. Like Bill Winfield was in that Volvo wagon. He's been derbying for 28 years. He was telling me he came out here and ran just like he did at home, which is balls to walls until everything's done. And it usually takes about 5 minutes. And I told him right to his face, I was like, you really can't do that out here. That's how it is at home. That's how you drive there, but you can't do that here if you want to win.
Right. Was it hard to? Was it hard?
Goes to show that I didn't have that many habits built up yet, but I guess he likes to run that way too. So I do too. It's just if you want to win, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I thought you were pretty aggressive out there, but that notwithstanding, so is it hard to get acclimated to that?
No, I still felt like everybody was on me, even though it didn't. They really weren't. You gotta, I don't know, slow down and take your shots. I sat in that corner for a really long time, I felt, which isn't normally how I drive. I usually make laps and just hit people as I go.
Right.
But
you had a handful of kill
shots.
shots.
More speed.
Right. You had a handful of kill shots. I mean, we saw you take out a couple of those W bodies with those no shots, and after you hit them, that's pretty much where they sat. Hiding out in the corner is. Go ahead.
I had to try out the new nose on that thing and see if it would hold up to them.
Right? Is that?
It was doing that.
So is that a little bit of R&D for the fall when you come back with the team?
Yes, it was.
But now you don't have to worry about it because you got a car.
Yep.
I couldn't believe how the sheet metal and everything filled that back window.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with it, but it seemed like that car bellied in front of the arches real bad. But now you're saying maybe it didn't. It wasn't quite as severe as it looked.
It's not so bad. I think a little bit of work it could come back.
Just cut the tin away from the rear window so you can see back out and see what's coming to get you, and you'll be golden. So everything's right there.
Sure. I mean, certainly makes sense on paper, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't see it from my house.
What do you care to tell us what you're bringing to Bash for Cash?
No.
Okay.
He already told us. Why you
I know.
I
I know he already told us, but I don't want to be the one to blow him in. You know.
Well, obviously he didn't bring it up. He sits under the tight to the vest.
It's true.
It's rear-wheel drive. And it'll be a manual with a 2.3 in it.
Good answer. Is this if you had your choice, would you stick to running the Camaros? I mean, if you could get 10 of them, would you just stick to running those Camaros? I mean, is that your favorite car right now?
Well, I personally like the Fox bodies because they're more of a nimble car. They can get around more. Like, it'd be like running the Camaro would be like running a Cadillac, and then the Fox body would be like running a mid-size, like Malibu wagon where you can turn it and you can get around a lot better.
Gotcha.
The Camaro is very much on that track, a north and south car. It takes you forever to turn around.
Gotcha. How, and as small as the Camaro is, how that's like mind blowing to think that. But with those, with the front wheel drives, they are going to turn quicker. That makes sense.
And I wasn't trying to, some people just go down to the end and whip a shitty, but I didn't. I felt like I didn't want to do that and risk spinning into something, getting stuck, or breaking something.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen. So I just go and make my 4-point turn and come back to the other way.
Absolutely.
You get enough metal ball up in the back where you're okay making the turn.
Yeah, there's a lot of metal in that car, so if somebody were to smoke it pretty hard, it'd probably do some good damage to them too.
How resilient is the steering in the Camaro?
How resilient?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't lose steering. I haven't seen you lose steering in any of the runs that you've had in Camaros. Is it pretty reliable?
I lost steering at Blizzard Bash.
Oh.
It's the same box as an old iron GM.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty good on steering. You just can't get smoked in the wheels.
Oh, it's sort of.
I guess when Tony broke my steering at Blizzard Bash, the shaft popped off of the box. So when I got it out in the parking lot, I just put it back on and I drove it on the trailer.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did Tony say what happened to his car during the heat? Because he kind of went out earlier than we all expected, but we didn't get a chance to see him afterwards.
Well, yeah, afterwards when we were talking in the stands, he was having some motor issues.
Yeah, we knew that.
Between me and Andy, we ripped his lower control arm off of his car.
Oh, gotcha.
So I think he popped an axle or broke an axle, something like that.
Gotcha.
Well,
that'll do it.
It's different than a motor problem.
That'll do it.
Yeah. He said that's why he was running so slow at the beginning, is because he wanted it to last.
Yeah, didn't want to push it too hard.
Yeah, we talked to him beforehand, and he said he had gasket issues he was worried about. So just wondering, like I said, we didn't hear what had happened afterwards. We had a chance to talk to him, but.
Is there anybody at home that you wanted to make mention of that helped make sure that you got there? I know you and Mike traveled pretty well together.
Yeah, Mike and I rode down together. He drove a long way back. I was freaking tired.
Right.
But other than that, my wife, she's always supportive of me being out in the garage when I'm out there, and then Jared for giving me a hand on everything we do together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Well, Nate, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Again, congratulations on the win, and we look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks at the Ross County Fairgrounds at Bash for Cash.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. We'll see you
Have a
later.
good one, Nate.
Bye.
There goes the effervescent Nate Middendorf. 2 Ds, not T's.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
So, more Derby action coming at you this weekend. I mean, if you think about it, we've had 4. By the time we get to Saturday, we will have had 4. Well, they got 2 rounds, right? 2 rounds in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll give us
Sunday?
5.
Is it Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday?
I think it's Friday and Saturday. I think.
Gotcha.
The big one I know is the one that I was thinking about. I talked to Josh today. They're doing Saturday at 3:00 Vegas time because the evening shows are the big money shows. So the Derby's got to prove itself to get an evening slot. So it starts at 3 in the afternoon. I don't know if Vegas knows what they've done. They've basically turned all the Derby drivers loose with no responsibilities the following day.
Yeah.
For the Casino Battle Royal, but they've got 2 rounds there, so we're going to look at 5 national caliber derbies in the span of 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
And it's March.
That is crazy.
And it's March. But that's going to be on Track Shot. You can jump on Demotix USA, and they've got all the information there. Josh has going out. We talked with him a little bit about some of the stressors that he's under.
Josh is stressed?
A little bit, yeah.
No.
Some of the, just a little bit of the nerves of going to Las Vegas on a big stage. So I'm happy for him, though. I hope they do well going out there to Vegas. He's got the lovely Katie going with him. So if nothing else,
it'd be like a honeymoon.
If nothing else, they're gonna have a great time. You know what I mean?
Just like a honeymoon.
But that you can find that out. That's again overseen by Stern Dirt, and Smash It is going to regroup now. Take about 6-8 weeks off, something like that, and then they're going to be into high gear, getting the finishing touches put on Bash for Cash. Jump online, you can find more information on that on smashitdemo.com.
Had a chance to talk to Tim and Russ about Bash for Cash. That's shaping up to be another incredible show. A lot of cars, got some surprises coming.
Yep.
Some classes and some drivers and some cool stuff, but we'll just leave those in the surprise box for now. And
yeah, we didn't get the green light on that. We tried. Make no mistake, we tried. Bluegrass Bash, we're going to shift gears and move to Steve Cioppa's win at Bluegrass Bash. The Old Iron 10,000 to win features Steve Cioppa winning that over Jeremy Taylor and Paul Petro. Vic Whaley, Mr. Excitement, took the Mad Dog Award there. The Motor Swap class was 10,000 to win as well. Owen Arnold won that over Michael Kelly. Tommy Krask came up third. Tim Isaac turned in a Mad Dog effort in that class. In the mini division, Brandon Tussey won over Daniel Buchanan. Tom Carter was third. Nick King took Mad Dog Awards in the street stock class. Rick Duggins won that. Richie Hopkins, Ben Phelps, second and third, and Robbie Crittenden ended up getting Mad Dog. Andrew Hasselton won the Circle Track All-Stars. I forgot about the Circle Track element. Remember they did that race, I guess, for lack of a better term, when we went out to Owenton. And it appears that they did something similar out there in Louisville. And going to get Steve Cioppa on the line now. Talk with him a little bit about his trip to Louisville. You said you traded some messages with him too?
Yeah, actually, I was yesterday. It was a long day coming home, and I didn't get a chance to text him. So I just sent him the congratulations today, and he was actually going into a business meeting, so we didn't get a chance to really text too much. But
Red Cars on Sunday and business meeting on Monday.
That's what they do.
Not quite how it worked, but close enough. Steve Cioppa is joining us on the line now. Steve, how are you?
Good, guys. How's it going?
What's going on, Steve?
Doing all right. Congratulations on the win, man.
What's up, Brian? Oh, thanks, guys. It was a good derby.
Take us through it a little bit.
Well, we were getting reports back, from people in the stands watching that the track was good, the track was bad, the track was good. So that was like the big talk of the weekend. But the track actually turned out to be pretty good. A lot better than last year. You could tell they put a ton of work into the track, and that venue's just incredible down there. They got a good thing going. That's going to be a really good derby. I think one of the biggest around. Sooner or later, it's catching on.
Good deal.
You're knocking heads with Paul Petro and Vic Whaley, a couple guys that you've seen at Bash for Cash in the past. How'd the feature play out?
Good guys. There was a lot of strategy going on, a lot of skilled driving, or I guess other people would call it sandbagging. But it was a chess match for there was 10 of us at the end. It just the cars wouldn't die. I mean, it was just like a battle royale. It was a good derby. It was a great derby, actually.
Did you have a Buick or an Impala?
I had a Pontiac sedan.
Really?
76 Pontiac sedan, yeah.
Wow. I see Mark went out as well. What happened to him?
Mark broke a transmission.
Wow.
It was good. It was hard derby. I mean, it was a lighter build, so you can understand why guys weren't going too crazy.
Yep.
But it's one of the way better set of super stock rules out there. I mean, they give you enough just to make the car just right. But, it's a great set of rules too.
Now, would you compare it like with the super stock rules that Bo had the one year for the tour, Are they a little different from that?
They're a little different from that. I mean, because you get a hump plate, you get some seam welding in the trunk. You know, they give you a little more just to keep the car stronger for a little longer period of time. They give us 3-on, 3-off seam welds on the front frame seams, firewall forward, which was, that's a plus.
Definitely.
And every GM likes to split the frame right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's always sort of seemed like Chevys were in a class by themselves, Cadillacs were in a class by themselves, and the Buicks, the Olds, and the Pontiacs were sort of valued in that order. Buick and then Olds and Pontiac. How different is the Pontiac from like a Buick or from an Impala?
Well, actually, mine was set on a convertible frame, which is
okay,
a little different monster than
sure.
than just a regular Impala frame. But I mean, they're all the same wheelbase except for the Deuce and Olds 98s are a little longer. But I thought the smaller wheelbase would be better because there was a lot of cars, and with the track. I mean, but by far the Caddies were the hardest cars on the track.
Right.
But I was surprised. I thought it was actually going to be a Caddy fest, but I was surprised when there wasn't that many of them. Pete had a Caddy which was nasty hard, and I think he might have broke a transmission or something too. But
Pete burned up a tranny.
GM, it was all GM sedans.
He runs so much power through those transmissions.
I don't think he runs the big motor anymore.
Well, no, I mean,
I think he's back down on the horsepower.
He had his big motor in the car.
Oh, did he?
He did. He said he had a score to settle, and he put his big motor in, which is kind of crazy. I wouldn't put a big motor in with no protectors or anything on it. I'd be afraid of busting it.
Which motor setup did you have in?
I had a stock Vortec. I had a $400 junkyard motor in the car.
That's awesome. You guys have won a lot of money with those Vortec motors.
Oh, I love them. I swear by them. They're good little motors, especially for that. It's a lighter build. You didn't need that much horsepower, especially on a track that could possibly get loose on you. And and I had a good tire setup for this track.
Yeah. You and Mark have both won a lot of features with those Vortec motors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had one. I think I had 26,000 in wins with one of the Vortecs, which is it's crazy.
That's insane.
You haven't won 26,000 in your Derby career.
Oh God, not even close.
I don't think you spent 26,000 in entry fees in your Derby career.
On cars, I have not entry fees. Cars, I'm there. Unfortunately,
that's insane.
So, at what point of the feature did you think things were going pretty good, and you were gonna have a shot at it?
Man, only when it got down to like 5 or 6, it was 10 of us for the longest time, and just everybody was taking their little chip shots. I mean, it was like a back and forth battle, and then all of a sudden at the end, Vic's tranny started to go. So he went out of his skilled driving mentality and started going a little crazy. So as soon as Vic does that, the pace picked up a little bit, and he goes out, and then two guys get stuck together, which was Petro and I forget the guy's name, but then and then the other guy got stuck. I mean, it's like there was 4 of us left at the end there, and the other 3 cars got stuck within a matter of minutes. It was the craziest ending to a Derby.
Well, that's the thing is it looked like the guy that finished second, because I saw maybe a little bit of video, I think it was, and it looked like the guy that finished second was sitting there just roasting the tires, trying to get loose, and you were just sitting there waiting for the time to run out, and I was kind of wondering how that had happened. Yeah,
it was so bizarre how they got hooked together. Well, the one guy, I kind of stuck him in the corner and hit him a couple times, and he it looked like he got hung up on a car, and he as soon as you hit the tires and laid on the throttle when you were sitting still, you dug down, and that's what happened. He dug down, and that was it for him. And then like Petro, they got stuck together, and they're trying to get off, and and then they dig down too. So it was kind of wild how it unfolded.
Yeah, it sounds like it went quick. We saw Pete Hansen, as you alluded to, Brett Riley made the trip down. Mike DeFrecia. Yeah, Brett lost the transmission. Mike DeFrecia, he wadded a car up. I think it took him like 5 minutes to waste his car.
Right.
Well, Mike was having a rough day because I think he went to load that car and the transmission was out of it. Brand new transmission, they put it in, everything was fine. Went to load it and either didn't have low or didn't have reverse. So there's a picture of that car sitting at the transmission shop like the next day, and they fixed it. And Mike put a thing up on Facebook and said, "How many minutes do you think it'll take me to ruin this car?" And he went out there and put a show on.
That's the word in the pits, because we're just out in the pits waiting to go in, and everyone kept saying Mike went a little crazy out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Which that's against his kind of. He's not that kind of crazy driver. It's kind of good to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike's usually there at the end, but he just one of those days where he let some steam go.
Yeah, he's frustrated.
What else have you got planned for this summer, Steve?
We are going to Utah in May. We're doing May Mania.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're going to be at the Keystone Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll do some local shows, and then Bluegrass Bash in November.
Sweet.
What
did any of you guys get into Vegas?
Todd and Mark were into Vegas. They were both in, and then Todd, their schedule's so busy that they actually had to bail on Vegas. So they're not going to. They actually got cars sitting there ready to go, but from what I understand, they're so busy at work they bailed on the Vegas trip.
Hey, let them know if they need somebody to run them someplace. I'm always free. I'm a phone call away to run cars.
Exactly. And Todd, he's not shy. He'll let you run it too.
Absolutely.
He always says, treat it like it's your own.
Yeah, treat it like you don't worry about it.
You ever blow up a boulder?
No.
Nobody could treat it worse than he does. So.
I don't know. If I remember right, I seem to remember Todd's brother taking a wagon out at Blizzard Bash, and I think he broke everything on that car. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about, do you, Steve?
Oh, he broke everything. Everything but the motor. The motor still ran good.
That's still one of the coolest runs I've ever seen in my life, was you in that wagon at Blizzard Bash. Because they said go, and everybody went on you. That was crazy.
That was crazy. That was a good time, though. But so we'll be back. We'll be back at Blizzard Bash this year. So
very cool.
Looking forward to it.
Now you've had some pretty big wins in your career. Where would you rate this one?
Oh, it's right up there, top of the list. It was there were some great drivers in that heat. So anytime you could be on there with Petro and Vic Whaley and the rest of them guys that were in there and take the win, man, I'll take that any day of the week.
Now, we talked to some guys when we were in Topeka this weekend, and I think we've asked you the question before, but I'll ask it again. Would you drive through a tunnel and into a building full of people for a derby, even though you've been around a couple of years and a little bit of derby experience, do you still get a little bit of the butterflies when you come into an arena like that?
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's the way. That's the feel you get down at the Freedom Hall Derby. I mean, it's that same. You come down into a ramp, down into the tunnel. I mean, it's just the baddest feeling. It's badass.
That's cool. Very cool.
You didn't mention Bash or Cash. Is that on the schedule this year?
Bash is not on the schedule this year. Yeah. We're going to give Bash a break this year. But that's what we venture out, try a couple different derbies, see what happens, and then maybe we'll check in on the Bash next year or something.
Cool. Awesome. So you knocked around with those guys, and now Bash for Cash, obviously a little bit heavier build format when you move into the kicker class or you move into that old iron class. But all the same, it's going to be tough not seeing you there. The Keystone Nationals show certainly gained some momentum. You guys have had some success at that track as well in Brookville.
Oh yeah, that track's been good to me. I've won 2 Keystone Nationals up in Brookville, and then that stock class that year. I mean, I've taken a lot of money out of Brookville, but I'm the Imperial I had at Bash for Cash last year. It's going to Keystone Nationals.
Nice.
A lot of Imperials from what I hear. I can't wait. It's going to be really awesome.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I just saw on Facebook today there was an Imperial for sale, and Pete Hansen wanted to know if it was still available.
Whoa.
Yeah, full frame.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
From what I hear, there's going to be a handful of full framers, sub-framers. The only thing I wish they let the 03s run so we could put that shit to bed already and see which one's the best, which, I think a sub-framer is going to beat them all anyway. So
that's awesome.
Very cool.
We may have to try to sneak down to that one just to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. We know where it is.
Yeah, we're going to need chiropractor adjustments after Keystone Nationals this year.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Anybody that you want to make mention of that helps keep the Cioppa team going?
Yeah, Mark Burrows. He built the car. It was an incredible car. We were the only ones there. We put street tires on the car. We actually had snow radials on the back of the car, and I don't think I could have got stuck if I wanted to. It just hooked up and skimmed across the top of the track. So I'm guessing everybody will have street radials on their car next year.
That's awesome.
And of course, Mark and the guys, everybody, Josh Drenovich, my man Philip Brown out there still texts me every Derby, see what's going on. Nick King. It's good. We got a good group of guys with us, around us, and it's always fun. If it ain't fun no more, then it's not worth it. But it's still fun.
Good now, deal. Did Todd go out to supervise and make sure you guys are doing everything all right, or what?
No, he supervised from his couch again on this one. We kept texting what's going on, how's inspection.
Nice.
But yeah, he didn't make the trip. He don't like long drives. He was looking to fly in, and I said, then he nixed that. So he was just sitting on his couch watching it.
It's funny. We've mentioned we've seen the Cioppas run a bunch, and it's so cool. Like we've seen it at Keystone a bunch of times. When Todd watches Steve run, he is like the ultimate proud big brother, man. He is backing him up and hooting and hollering, and it's cool because these guys on the track will knock the snot out of each other. I'm pretty sure Steve Souls Todd a shot or something from something happened in Florida. I don't remember, but man, I'm telling you what, you watch Todd cheer to watch Todd cheer for Steve, man. It's really cool to see. They're a pretty tight knit family.
Oh, it's always fun. We had our new Alexandria Championship last year. It come down to the three of us, and they must have had this plan from the get go. And they teamed up on me, so they kicked the shit out of me. They took first and second. I ended up getting third, but they got it coming now.
That's awesome.
Payback.
Right on.
That's great.
Well, man, again, congratulations on the win. Glad everything went well, and hope you have a successful summer, man. Keep in touch and let us know how it goes. And above all, man, good luck at Keystone Nationals. I know you want with that one.
All right, guys. It's great to talk to you, be on the show, but congrats on the new gig too.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Take it easy.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
We'll see you later. Bye now.
Bye.
Goes Steve Cioppa, once again, winner of the Old Iron Class at Bluegrass Bash. Trying to keep track of everything. So I got at the stoplight down here by the gas station on the way in and realized that my notebook was at home.
Good thing you remember everything.
So I didn't. I couldn't. I remembered most of it, but I couldn't remember who won that morning two-man class. So I called Melissa and said, use Facebook and take pictures of the finish sheets, and she did. So you kept seeing me looking over here to the side. I had all the pictures saved up on the screen, and I stumbled across the results for John Peck from Bluegrass Bash. So that's how we got that stuff. And just to sort of round out the show, we got a minute or two left. Wanted to say a big thanks to all the folks at Derby Nation. It was a ton of fun working with Steve Bucknam on Derby Nation over the weekend, and got to see Tony Stevens again, Nate with all of his video editing and stuff, and then Chris Grainer was running tech support behind the big concrete wall, watching all the people walking by with hot dogs and the beers and stuff. And he's sitting there. He had a roller derby.
Yep.
He had Capital City Carnage and Bluegrass, and they were monitoring the race at the cars race, the late models race at Hickory Speedway.
Yeah, I saw that.
All at the same time. And he's juggling the tech support for all four of those at once. It was crazy to watch. I thought it got busy when we were doing, like trying to score stuff and whatever. Nowhere's close to that. He had a lot of plates on sticks.
Friday night, we got there. We're within a few minutes of going on air, and they had one of the issues like we've had before in the past, and you looked relaxed because it wasn't you. You didn't have to fix any of it.
Yep.
But it was cool. We did. We had, like I said, we were very happy to be back. It was a blast. Can't wait to see what the future brings. I guess we're in Derby season now. I guess it's here.
Yeah, we got 5 in the next. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what that was.
That wasn't anything important.
I don't want to know what that was. There's some good-sized thunk outside the door. Maybe UPS just came. Huh.
Except we're on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. Pay no attention. I think that'll do it. We appreciate everybody coming on. A couple guests that we've been talking to. coming up in the not too distant future. Hopefully, hopefully everything worked for Mike Schmidt. He was having trouble getting the show to work, so mention him quick. We're going to be talking with Cody Benoit in the coming weeks. We'll be talking with him and Corey Ludington, talking with him a little bit about the Show Me Sliders coming up. I don't know if it'll be next week, but there's tons of stuff happening and guests lined up. Like you said, we're in the middle of Derby season now. It is
in March.
It has begun.
Well, I guess it's almost April.
I guess so. But I mean, if you look back, I guess we've been in Derby season because it was 2019, and it doesn't ever really stop.
Yep, that's for sure.
All right, so that's going to do it for us here at the North Park Building at Academy Square. We appreciate everybody tuning in and watching along with us from home. That's going to do it. Big thanks to Cody Gaines, Nate Middendorf, Steve Cioppa. Thanks to all the folks that helped make Derby or Capital City Carnage possible. Congratulations out to the winners from this weekend, and we'll do it again next week. We'll see you then.
The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.